3, 2, 1. Thanks for checking in again. This is another session. This one won't have a lot of activity in it. It's going to be more of a talk, and it's something that's very important because I think a lot of parents, a lot of coaches, a lot of kids forget about this part of the game. But it's probably what's going to make or break you as a pitcher, whether you get a scholarship, whether you get signed to a pro contract. It really, it comes down to your makeup, your mental makeup, your demeanor, how you handle yourself in a game. I can't tell you how important this is. A lot of times when you see scouts, when you see college coaches come to a game, chances are when they know a pitcher's pitching and they come watch a kid play, I mean, they know he's got talent. Do they really look at his statistics? No. They've already known, whether it's via showcase or via word of mouth, reading the newspapers, they know a kid's pretty talented. They know he's got size, they know he's got arm strength. They really are there to watch how he handles himself in a game. Now, I've seen a lot of pitchers literally lose an opportunity to go to a good school. I'm not saying they never went to a good school or another school after that, but certain schools have literally walked out of ballparks after they watch a kid maybe make a face, roll his eyes, accuse a player of not trying, really embarrassing his teammates, whether it's in the dugout or on the field. Goes a long way to make up. You're going to find that if you guys that have the talent that are going to get a possible pro contract, you're going to end up taking a psychological test to see what your mental makeup is, how you handle yourself, what you think about the game, what you think about yourself, your confidence level. It's more than just watching you throw a baseball hard. It's a lot more about you, the person. People want chemistry. Coaches want chemistry on a team. And chemistry is all about how you are, how you interact with other people. Much like a corporate job. You get interviewed a lot of times when you go to these corporations. You'll get interviewed a lot when you go to these colleges too. They want you, but they only want you if you have the right fit for their program. I know teams that have passed over some talented kids because it just wasn't a good fit. And usually that is the biggest piece that gets the kid a scholarship. Let's talk a little bit about handling yourself in a game. You don't want to be stiff, unfeeling. You want to be emotional. You want to be energetic. You want to be able to show energy and show emotion when appropriate. When that emotion turns into accusations of the umpire making a bad call, or when it turns into looking at a teammate who didn't try or blew a game, and when it comes to the end of the game when you're accusing everybody else but yourself of losing that game, that's not good. Remember, they're not trying to miss the ball behind you, just like you're not trying to give up that home run. I've been on all sides of this game, and I've seen at the minor league level, I've seen wives in the stands yell at other wives because their husband blew a game for the other husband. It goes really off the deep end. I've seen parents yell at other parents because their son blew the game for the pitcher's parents. So it really can be nipped in the bud by you taking the high road. When I say the high road is, you know what, accept responsibility for what you do. You're the one out there that's trying hard, just like everybody else in the field. And if you have a bad game, you've got to show. When you have a bad inning, you've got to show that you can persevere. It's important. A coach will watch how you get out of a jam. When a scout comes to watch you, they don't want to see you strike out 15. They'd rather see you give up a base hit and then get out of a jam in a tight situation. When you give up a triple, lead-off triple with a one-run game, how do you handle that next batter? Or when you give up an error, how do you handle that next batter? When you walk two guys and then then there's an error and there's a bases loaded, how do you handle yourself? How is your demeanor? What's your makeup? Do you have the guts to get through it? Whether you get through it or not, do you have the guts and the makeup to really battle out there? Very, very, very important. And you little leaguers, parents of little leaguers, teach them now. Start now. Keep your kid positive. He's accountable for his actions. He can get better just like he can get poorer. You can lose a game very quickly with a bad attitude. But you can win a game just as quickly with a positive attitude. And being a good teammate is having a positive attitude, keeping everybody else in the game. Catchers, can't tell you how important it is. There's nothing better for a pitcher than to throw to a catcher who's positive. Not a catcher who's worried about, oh, you threw the ball in the dirt, I couldn't block it. Well, you know what? The best catchers I ever threw to were the ones who said, hey, give me that curveball in the dirt. I don't care if the bases are loaded, it's a tie game. Come on, you can make this pitch. Those are the kind of catchers you want to be. If you're a young catcher trying to come up, that's the kind of catcher you want to be. Everything else is gravy. If you have the makeup and the desire to be a good player, that shows forever and ever. And the physical ability you can work on all the time. The mental ability you can also work on all the time. It might be a little harder than trying to get the fastball up there or trying to drop a curveball in. But it can be done, and you have to be patient. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to have games where frustration just takes over. Everybody has that kind of pass when the emotions get high. But do you continue to make that bad behavior a habit? You can't do it. You've got to maintain your cool. If you go off the deep end, get right back on track. If you have a bad outing, if you feel like you threw a helmet or you yelled at somebody, you better apologize right away, because that'll be the first step for you being a good teammate. Everybody has their emotions. Some people are more emotional than others. You should be emotional. You should be angry. You should be a competitor. But if it goes over the top, you've got to identify it. Coaches, you've got to identify it. Little League coaches especially, please. There's no place in baseball, Little League baseball, for arrogance, for accusations. This is the time you've got to learn to be a good teammate. I hope this is more or less a lecture, but I've seen over the years, I've seen kids come in here, I've seen kids, the first thing they'll talk about is, geez, the umpire really was tough on me. You know what? I've never seen a game where an umpire blew the game. I really never saw it. I'm sure they've been out there. I can't believe that one call has blown a lot of games. There have been some historic games in the World Series and the big leagues. Yeah, they go back to one call. But overall, there are probably some plays, some pitches earlier in that game that could have been made better that would never have led to a pressure call or a historical call by an umpire. So it's more than one call. It's more than one pitch. Baseball is a series of events over the course of a game. There's so many different opportunities to make good. The more you can make those opportunities positive, the better it's going to be over the long run. Remember, it's a work in progress. Hang in there with it. Just keep working on your attitude, your demeanor. Keep yourself cool. Be a competitor, but be a positive competitor. Thanks.